Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome back to the 2018 Founders Cup. I am Steven Stamp, joined by Pat Gregoire. It is a huge game tonight on JVI Sports Network. There are the Seneca War Chiefs. They're not wearing their usual uniforms. They are wearing the uniforms of the FNLA, the First Nations Lacrosse Association All-Stars, from when they played the United States just before the World Junior Championships were held in Saskatoon last week, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I was out there and then flew in on Monday. And Seneca will be taking on the Calgary Shamrocks, the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League champions, and the Alberta representatives. And this has massive implications for what will happen further on in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I think heading into this tournament, everyone kind of pegged these two teams to be battling for that first spot in Group B. And I think we've seen flashes of brilliance from both these teams. I don't think we've seen what they both have to offer just yet.
Absolutely, 100%. We are going to take a look right now at the players to watch for this game. We'll start with Jimmy Chadwick.
Chadwick had a big game last game. 2 goals in transition, one probably in the running still for one of the top goals of the tournament. He's from Amherst, New York, just outside Buffalo. Played some OJBLL lacrosse with Hamilton, played a few games with Burlington as well. And then on the other side, the Calgary Shamrocks, Colby Fraser, who had a massive game last time we saw him. He's
a beast heading inside. He and Connor Pupp basically drive the engine that is the Calgary Shamrocks offense. And we are going to see, I think, some really intense action in this game, and I'm very excited to see what happens here. There you see our referees for the game from the First Nations Lacrosse Association, Dave Hallett, and from Saskatchewan, Calvin Roseberry. And the standby is Trent Gilray. And Dave Hallett has to maneuver himself out of some trouble there right off the bat as that draw is strummed along the boards. And the War Chiefs will come up with the first possession, snagged there by Andrew Forte, wearing number 4.
Not only are the War Chiefs wearing the new white jerseys with purple, they're also wearing the white and green buckets as well with that fade on the cage. Pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's a good looking setup they've got there. And of course, we were raving yesterday about Calgary's outfits. Here is their first possession. Eric Lemire hands it off, leaves it there for Brian Houghton. Goes across to Sundholm. Logan Sundholm is driving to the net, shoots. Saved by today's starter, Troy Benedict. Once again in net for the War Chiefs. And at the other end, Jared Ferris, who is going to be starting all the games for Calgary, is backup. Nicholas Selanovich got a few minutes yesterday, but he's a rookie. They are not going to put him in the pressure cooker of a key Founders Cup game here.
Yeah, you know, it's a tough spot for a young goaltender, especially in this matchup. I mean, if they were going to start him, I would imagine it wouldn't be in this big game, arguably the biggest game that they might see in this tournament.
Yeah, and the key, of course, is either of these teams could lose today and wind up making the medal playoffs, the semifinals, but they want to avoid the Allura Mohawks, who are just running roughshod through this tournament so far. You'd rather try to take them on in the finals than in the semifinals. Shot clock winding down. That shot is going to go wide, and the Shamrocks have a great defensive set and will go up into the offensive zone. Tristan Jensen joining the fray.
I think you're going to see that a lot. They love to collapse, double. They're an aggressive defensive unit.
Fraser's shot goes wide, but Connor Pupp scoops it right off the backboards, tosses it to the near side to Cameron Carpenter. He jukes underneath, gets a shot 5-hole, but Benedict had the stick there, and it just runs right up his shirt. Already things getting intense in front of the net. You can see a little banging around. First penalty of the game is coming. It will be to the War Chiefs, and Darius Kilgore will not like that. You can see the look on his face as Anson Gardner is taking a penalty 180 feet away from his net. Calgary with the extra attacker out. Pass to the back door, gets away. There's a chance they go back door on the opposite side. Good movement. The shot by Sundholm stopped by Benedict. And we're going to get the, I believe it's a slashing call. Yep.
Yeah, it was a slash. Like you said, so far away from From the other end, you see Darius Kilgore still not pleased about that at all. But Darius Kilgore, you mentioned it last broadcast. I think we saw them. Just one of the smartest minds in the entire game of lacrosse.
Yeah. Having a chat with Darius Kilgore today, and we'll talk about it in a bit. We are on the Calgary power play. There's a chance for Sundhope off the post. He is stepping in and getting a couple of shots here. Pup to Fraser. Fraser's shot squeezed by Benedict. He's a very alert goaltender. He's sharp off the start of this game.
Logan Sunholm, we talked about him last game. Had a ton of chances, couldn't bury, so instead he started to crash and bang in the middle.
Here's a drive by Clay Scanlon, and the first goal of the game. Great body control, foot control, and that stick work is absolutely brilliant by Clay Scanlon.
Clay Scanlon showing off his athleticism and his unbelievable, fearless effort. Getting hauled to the ground there, and as he buries, he looks up at the ref, sees Dave Hallett signal the goal. He pops up right away and throws a huge celly.
Yeah, the celly was strong. And that faceoff is going to be a violation by the Shamrocks. Carpenter will head to the bench, and possession will go to Andrew Forte.
I think these two teams might be two of the faster, more athletic teams on both sides of the ball in the entire tournament.
And just look how far spread out the Calgary defense is. They're going out to pick up the War Chiefs wherever they are. And they can do that because they do move so well laterally, and they communicate very well as well. It's I think the Elora Mohawks is probably the best defense that we've seen so far in the tournament in terms of their performance, but I really like what Calgary does. There's a fake shot from the outside. There's the cut through. Oh, and a stick right up under the chin. That was Cameron. That was Eli Cross. Almost taking the bucket right off the head of Tristan Jensen. He actually has to pull it off and adjust things. No penalty, and I think Calgary coach is probably not too excited about that.
Yeah,
would have put them on a 5-on-3. That would have especially helped since they gave up a shorthanded goal.
And Bryce Trimmer already has been cut in the chin. Took a high shot yesterday. You see if you get a chance. He has a white.
Oh, yeah,
piece
sorry,
of
Bryce
gauze
Trimmer.
there.
I was saying Tristan Jensen, who, of course, is playing for the Seneca War Chiefs. Emerson Stevens is in to this game. He's number 71 on the near side at the righty shooter spot. And we are back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Keelan Seneca. Hard sidearm shot, swallowed up by Jared Ferris, who had a strong game yesterday. Nice outlet pass to Pup. You have to reach down and get it, but he does hand it off there to Brian Houghton. Houghton turned aside. Pick coming, Cameron Carpenter rolls off it. Or sorry, Eli Cross, and I thought Cross had a chance. So I had it completely reversed in that last fracas at the other end. It was Cameron Carpenter getting up into Bryce Trimmer's face. I apologize to Eli Cross for impugning his stick cross-checking. Waiting and waiting. A pass through to Sherman Williams. Doesn't connect, rolls right through to Benedict.
Sherman Williams had a pretty strong game, a goal and an assist, and a nifty
It looked like
goal.
he did more.
Well, he does do more than just put points up on the board.
Yeah, very involved. Fraser gets a little pick, takes the shot. Benedict with no problem with that one. And another Calgary player is coming off looking uncomfortable.
It's Colby Fraser. That's not a good sign if you're a Calgary Shamrocks fan.
They have a player up the floor. Nobody noticed, though, and by the time they did, it was a little too late, as Eric Lemire would have been, any pass to him would have been picked off at that point. He'll take the pass now, and we'll watch the next offensive set for Calgary to see if Fraser comes out. Right now, he's got his helmet off, and he's being attended to by the trainer. That ball pops loose. Pup gets it back. 6 on the shot clock, but again, it pops out. Ron John scoops it up, takes a look at the bench, and will run into the offensive zone. He's got Keelan Seneca with him, hands it off.
Ron John might be one of the most physically impressive players at this tournament. He's an absolute beast.
No question. Seneca around the top, spins off. Nobody there in the middle to get it to. Now Williams goes in. opens some space. There's a drive, but they're going to say a crease violation.
There it is, that physical presence he has. He just runs with such fierce footsteps and then shows the finesse with the little swim move.
There's Pup spinning again. Fraser still not out. Still doesn't have his helmet on. He's actually being checked out. Yeah. Pup gets up out of the crease. That pass is picked off. With some wheels is David Schuyler. He'll hand it off to the offense and get to the bench. 1-0 still, as we are, as you see, about 7:15 into this game. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire, and this is JVI Sports Network bringing you the 2018 Founders Cup from Akwesasne. Scanlon watched carefully. That shot is low, but Ferris has no problem with it. The rebound results in a crease violation, and Ferris looking for the outlet pass. He loves that little sidearm flip. Eric Lemire takes it.
Works for him as well. We saw him execute quite a few nice outlet passes yesterday.
Sundholm going to the net, shot high, turned aside. It looks like Lemire will get there first. He is being pursued heartily by Hoya John. Still getting down on the ball. And eventually, it's Cameron Carpenter coming up with that. Passes it forward. Little collision. As the player was coming off the bench, kind of ran into the referee at the top. That pass actually bounces up. That was Calvin Roseberry that very adroitly stepped around the player, but now the shot up, and here we come. And it definitely looks like there's been a bit of a cut on Colby Fraser. He is on the bench. The trainer has a glove on and is working on his chin or neck. So here's a 3-on-1, and they all kind of crowded in together, so the pass just flings away, and Calgary comes back in the offensive zone. Immediate possible chance here for Eli Cross. He'll pull it out. Wise decision. James Johnson up at the top. There's another chance for Pup. Ball, the stick is knocked right out of the hands of the Seneca defender. Too many men on the War Chiefs. Boy, it's a fast-paced game. We've had some chances and still only one goal through 9.5 minutes. Backpedaling and trying to get his shot. If Eli Cross just stumbles to the ground, and that throws his shot well off target. Seneca comes back up the other way. And Keelan Seneca goes deep, and they come back up to Scanlon. Here's Gutch Salinas taking an offensive shift. Gets it back from Scanlon, returns it to Clay Scanlon. He's watched by Nicholas Drennan. Shot off the backboards. The shot clock's going to expire, and it is picked up by the Shamrocks. Past the midway point here. Fast paced. This one's flying by. There are going to be some goals in this game. There's too much talent not to, but so far the defense is really showing their stuff, and a bit of an overzealous pick by Marshall Bloomfield. And Seneca goes down and scores at the other end in transition. They've had a few chances and haven't really generated great high-quality opportunities, but that one was perfect, and Williams finishes.
Now Williams just, instead of trying to bring this in and make a move on the crease, he just sees his defender coming, doesn't want to out-muscle him, and before that gap can be closed, just fires home a beautiful shot. You could hear the fans, whoa.
And shot on his off foot. That will mess goalies up. Shot on his, as his left foot was down. As a lefty, you kind of expect him to go on the right foot, the plant foot. And I've talked to some players who've talked about that on a breakaway, on the run, goalies are always expecting you to shoot off your plant foot. We have a goalie water break. It is going quickly, but Hey, and one of our sponsors here that is making this tournament and our streaming possible is Big Boys Gas and Tobacco. We're going to be heading over to Big Boys soon to fill up the car. Just thank you to Big Boys for being a part of the 2018 Founders Cup here in Akwesasne. And with JVI Sports Network, there's Gutch Salinas. 3 lefties. Scanlon will give it up there. Cody Bielik tries a twister. And a bit of a collision. And Jared Ferris says, guys, can we hang on? I have to get my glove and my stick back. And he has to shake out the hair. He's got some lettuce going on under that goalie helmet.
Yeah, both goalies have some romaine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a rip. That was Brian Houghton dropping the head of the stick and absolutely rifling that shot in. So the good news on 2 counts for Calgary, they've got a goal, and Colby Fraser is back in the lineup.
Brian Houghton just 13 goals on the year, 44 points though. Known more as a guy that crashes and bangs on the inside, will set up plays. We saw him extend a lot of 30-second clocks, grabbing those offensive boards. But with that unbelievable outside shot, it shows that he does have some versatility to his game, and he can put the ball in the back of the net.
Looked like, and they will, I was going to say, looks like Seneca will get the ball, and they do. Sprinting in the offensive zone is David Schuyler.
Almost another highlight reel goal there from Clay Scanlon.
Almost. Man, he's got some moves. Lemire hands it off, and Cross keeps the ball moving. Here's Fraser, backpedaling, taking some solid checking there from Jimmy Chadwick. And Chadwick will have that ball roll right to him and takes off. But nice job to get Cale Lundell out there for Calgary so he can take away the breakaway chance, and the War Chiefs will slow things down a bit. Williams tries to hit the cutter, can't connect with Forte. There's Forte with the bouncer right up into the chest, under the neck guard of Jared Ferris. Ferris digs the ball out, gets his glove on, and makes that sidearm pass to the restraining line that he likes so well. Here's Bloomfield. Pressure well out past the restraining line. That shot from Sundholm doesn't get by, and the War Chiefs heading back the other way. Seneca looks kind of like a whole new team with these FNLA uniforms. They are pretty sharp.
Look like a new team, but the same creative offense with that fast-paced defense.
Yeah. Scanlon. Feed to the middle, doesn't quite connect with Seneca, but Scanlon's able to get it off the boards. They've got 4 on the shot clock. He's going to go low, and that's going to be a reset. Oh, no, it missed the net. Sorry, so it is a 30-second violation. Fraser leaves it there for James Johnston. Backdoor cut. Oh, all kinds of net for Eli Cross. He can't believe he missed that one. Now Fraser with the shot. Cross is going to race in, try and get that loose ball rebound. Not able to, but they are all over Ryan Kidd. Can they get it loose? It does come out. Fraser kind of rides him to the ground. And it's going to be a loose ball push against Seneca. So Calgary gets the restart. 2-1 they trail. Almost a tie. There's Cross. Had that one just whiff off the arm of the goaltender Benedict. Great positioning there. Oh, but a great save. Chances for the War Chiefs as they are continuing to put pressure on in transition. Calgary's going to have to figure a way to contain those breakouts because they're a little fortunate they haven't given up more than just 2 goals at this point, just one of them on the transition situation. Bloomfield will track that one down after it pops away from him. They've still got time, but he still throws it into the stick of Ron John. And then Bloomfield gets it back. Did John possess it? He did. So it's a fresh 30 for Calgary. That's a bit of a break. But they throw the pass. That gets picked off. Here comes Tristan Jensen. He's going to get the man off the bench. Keelan Seneca didn't like the angle he saw. He'll slow things down, let the offense set up. Clay Scanlon takes it. Gutch Salinas cuts through the middle. Looked like he may have been open. I don't think they liked the pass, but they liked that one to Scanlon. They just can't quite complete it. That was Cody Bielik throwing it through. Pressure by the War Chiefs now, and a nice pass out of trouble. Terrific play. Trying to catch who that was. That was a really poised maneuver there. Here's a chance at the other end. Oh, it's thrown back up high. It stays in bounds, though. They're going to run a little low on time, but they have possession. 7 seconds left. Oh, and now Calgary throws it away. We saw at the very beginning of their first game yesterday, Calgary threw the ball away, but 3 or 4 times, and then they settled down, and they got rolling. But today, again, in this whole first period, we've seen them probably 5 or 6 times. They've just passed balls straight to the War Chiefs or straight into the corner. That feed through doesn't quite connect with Forte. It's going to roll into the crease and become Shamrock's possession. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. This is flying by between the Seneca War Chiefs and the Calgary Shamrocks at the 2018 Founders Cup on JVI Sports Network. Pup flips it across. Bloomfield takes a shot. That's right into the stick of Ron John. Maybe it's not the Shamrocks. Maybe it's Ron John. He's going to take a chance. Shoot, save. Big hand stop by Jared Fraser.
Great job there by the defender for the Shamrocks. I believe that was Declan Mulholland who was able to keep that rebound in the crease.
Fraser trying to spin and get a shot off. Nice double team effort. Long outside shot. Sundholm follows that. Big hit after he missed the ball. Here's a 2-man breakout, but the Shamrocks this time are able to get some players out and thwart that. Seneca. Williams surveys. Feeds it through. A nice pick and roll, but he steps in the crease. That was Clay Scanlon with the shot. Here's Connor Pup. We'll get it across to Cross. Houghton's pass straight into the back of the Seneca defender. Bloomfield started to stutter step back down low. Now he does return towards the net. Shot and gets his own rebound. There's a low shot, but that's straight into the stick from Eric Lemire. Boy, Troy Benedict is just solid in that back end. I think Jared Ferris has probably been challenged a bit more. Can't be more acrobatic, but both goalies playing what they've faced very well. And that ball just bounces away. It was Bielik giving it up. So as we are into the final 2 minutes of a low-scoring contest. Bloomfield.
The goalie out of the cage.
Yeah, delayed penalty coming to the War Chiefs. Sidearm rip by Cross, and it's a too-many-men call against the War Chiefs. Somebody leaving just a little bit early. So with 1:38 to go in the first period, it will be a chance for the Shamrocks to tie things up with that man advantage. Thank you to Cormark, building success together, for their sponsorship of the 2018 Founders Cup. It's being brought to you here on JVI Sports Network, the proud home of the best of lacrosse, streaming here in Akwesasne. A little slip inside by Sundholm. They actually skip past right by him. Fraser, duck and shot, just missed the top. Pup spins, he bangs it off the post. Fresh 30, Sundholm gets it back. They slow things down. Lemire will take his time. Fraser. Lemire thought about a shot. Sundholm thinks about it. Fraser to the cutter. Lemire can't quite get it by Benedict. Is snagged there. And away comes Jimmy Chadwick. He just flies up the floor, eats up so much turf. Great angle taken by John Geep, the defender. Pat Gregoire will head down and have an interview at the intermission. There's a delayed penalty coming to the Calgary Shamrocks. We'll see probably a too many men call. Here's a drive to the net. Clay Scanlon, nice save once again by Ferris. Huge stop. It's going to actually be an illegal cross-check by Logan Sundholm. So that will make it 4-on-4 for these final 32 seconds of this first period. There'll still be 22 seconds on the Seneca penalty after that. Bielik had to reach out and catch that one. Now he tries to feed it through. Can't quite connect with Williams. And it's a loose ball push. Calgary gets possession with 17 seconds to go. 4-on-4. They toss it ahead to Pup. Fraser takes the pass as he comes off the bench. Back to Pup, was almost picked off. There's a long shot from the outside from way downtown. And we will run out of the first 20 minutes. A fast and exciting 20 minutes it was, with the score 2-1 in favor of the Seneca War Chiefs. That is one of the better periods of lacrosse we've seen here in Akwesasne. Right here in the Turtle Dome at the 2018 Founders Cup. Pat Gregoire, I believe, is grabbing. It's a very good question. Oh, Colby Fraser, I believe, is the man. Yeah, the captain is coming out to join Pat. Obviously none the worse for wear, as he got tidied up by the trainer and will be down on the floor. So when you're ready, Pat Gregoire, go ahead.
I'm with Colby Fraser, the captain of this Calgary Shamrocks. Close game right now, just 2 goals for the other team. You guys got to get the offense clicking. What do you guys need to do here?
Oh, we just need to get them inside more. I think the guys are a little, they heard a lot about this team, so they're a little, nervous. But I think that's behind us now in these next 2 periods. We're just going to get inside, work our ass off, and put in the net.
Now you did mention, I did mention it is a low-scoring game. That's a big part to do with your goaltender. Can you just talk about the play of him so far?
Oh, he's been incredible. Back at provincials, he was the MVP of the tournament, and he hasn't slowed down at all this tournament. He's playing absolutely unreal.
Now, you mentioned those provincial tournaments. You guys come up with an RMLL championship. Obviously, the big goal here is to come away with a medal. But how special was that to be able to win an RML championship and come to this tournament as champions of that division?
Oh, it's huge. The Shamrocks have never actually done that before, so we're the first to ever do it. So that was really something special.
All right, perfect. I'll let you get back and regroup, and good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Colby Fraser, the leader of the Shamrocks team. He's looking to lead his team to victory here tonight. Still have 40 minutes to play here on JVI Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2018 Founders Cup in Akwesasne on JVI Sports Network. I'm Steven Stamp, joined by Pat Gregoire. We're going to take a look at some highlights from that first period, largely saves.
Yeah, I mean, only 3 goals, and these goalies, it wasn't for a lack of chances. It saw some great stops from both goaltenders. You're going to see a Ferris here with a beautiful stop right there. That one might have even kissed the bar.
Yeah.
Jared Ferris and Troy Benedict, both of them, with some
Here's
pretty
the
big
schedule.
saves.
Yeah, the schedule for tomorrow: the Elora Mohawks taking on Saskatchewan. Elora definitely looking like the class of the field to this point. These Calgary Shamrocks will not have a huge rest as they go at 2 o'clock against the Coquitlam Adanacs. If they don't win tonight, that becomes a massive game. If they do win, still a very big game, but even bigger if they aren't able to come back tonight. Seneca War Chiefs have a bit more rest to go against the North Shore Kodiaks, where they will clearly be favored against the young Junior C club. And then at the end of the night, we will have the host Medicine Men versus Manitoba, and the game that will decide second place in that pool.
Yeah, that game, you can't stress enough how big it is from both sides. I think we saw the Medicine Men take some big steps forward in their game today, and I think Manitoba took some serious steps back. So
yeah,
I don't know if you'd go as far as saying the Medicine Men are the favorites. That one would maybe almost be a pick 'em for me.
I think it is. I think so. I mean, yeah, that'd be a tough call. Certainly on recent form, you'd go with the Medicine Men. The thing, Manitoba coming off their game against Elora, that's tough.
Yes.
And bear in mind that, I mean, Elora kind of ran away from the Medicine Men early in their game as well. So, yeah, the Medicine Men seem to have improved substantially since that first period against Elora, where they fell well behind. So we'll see how that works out. We do have the shots thanks to Ralph Gubler, who is here, his son Ryan playing for the Calgary Shamrocks, and Ralph does stats for the Calgary Roughnecks, so it's just in his blood. It's natural.
Yes.
He let us know 20-14 in favor of the Shamrocks for his count on the shots on goal. Sherman Williams has possession. We'll hand it off to Evan Printup. He is wearing number 2 tonight. We also have another player. Dante David is wearing number 66. So just clarifying those 2 uniforms.
Printup normally wears the big goose egg.
Here's Scanlon with the Wayne Gretzky-style jersey up over the pads. He's going to let it rip as Anson Gardner came out onto the floor to join him. And we now have a power play for the War Chiefs, as Calgary has their penalty to Logan Sundholm to kill. 45 seconds remaining in that. Nice pass through traffic. Heads up play by Lemire to see that nobody was looking his way and he could make the pass even though there were some War Chiefs players around. Now it is Brian Houghton. That ball is knocked out of his stick. He's going to go after it, though, continuing to kill time. The big rake by the goaltender, Troy Benedict, gets the foot back in his crease. It's out again, and Calgary comes up with a great effort there. And the goalie's stick is off to the side. Now, are you allowed to do that? Pick up the goalie's stick and pass it over to him? You can't pick up a teammate's stick, a runner's stick. You're not allowed to be playing with 2 sticks. So even if you pick it up and give it to someone or carry it off, that's an illegal equipment violation. I'm curious about that. I don't know if the goalie stick is the same. There are obviously different rules around goaltender equipment and situations. So, I mean, normally, here's a chance. Johnson scores! James Johnston. What a bouncer to the far side. Slips in behind the defense, takes the pass, and a beautiful spot.
We saw James Johnson score a couple of goals yesterday from outside rips. This time we'll see him sneak in and just throw that skipper this time from much closer, but just as big as a celly as we saw yesterday.
We got some numbers, career numbers for some of these Shamrocks players who, do you have that handy?
I don't.
No, we'll pull that up in a bit. I was thinking about it because Brian Houghton, who was involved in maintaining possession for Calgary there, is up there. 198 points in his career in 69 games. He has 82 goals, 116 assists. Thanks for all these stats we're getting from the RML to Derry Dawkin. Seneca looking to get back on top here as Clay Scanlon reverses directions a couple of times. Big whack there from Declan Mulholland, and the ball is turned over as it rolls down. And the patented sidearm pass from Jared Ferris. Pup hands it off to Sundholm. He's going to bull his way through. Johnston, the recent goal scorer, back to Sundholm. Connor Pup underneath, tries to go near side. I don't know if he had anything there. Didn't get it on the net, so just a few seconds left in the shot clock. As Pup tracks it down, he realizes that it's winding down. I think it was actually after the 30 had expired that he got that shot off.
Yeah, Pup really does love to go down low, take the ball. He either does that inside roll or he'll sometimes just squeak along and then go along the crease. We saw him do it a couple of times early in the first game for the Shamrocks.
That shot's going to swing out. The one-hand reach by Sherman Williams to get it and acquire a fresh 30 as that's sprung out off the goalpost. Seneca trying to get by his man, gets the shot up. That goes wide, and it's coming up into the stands. And a fan with a stick is reaching down to try and grab that ball as he wasn't able to get it with his hands. And he pulls that one in. Bryce Trimmer hands it off. Lemire pulls one near side, just a little too much to the near side. Great forecheck pressure though. And it looks like Trimmer will come up with the ball. No, it's still loose. So Lemire goes in to help out. Big pick there by Troy Benedict. I'm just saying, it looks like one of the Seneca players was maybe a little bit shaken up. I think that's Ryan Kidd. Looked like he was just a little gingerly coming off the floor. He is going to have a seat on the bench. Oh, that bounce off the far post. Not sure how Emerson Stevens snuck that one through, but he did and almost buried it. Ron John is up in the offense. He gives it to Stevenson, gets it back. They're going to isolate, open up some space. He chooses not to cut underneath. He goes to the top instead. Backdoor, good decision. Anson Gardner in perfect spot, and he bounces it home. 3-2, Seneca War Chiefs.
We saw Anson Gardner score a couple of goals later in the second half, and we see him starting to heat up pretty much close to that halfway mark. Ron John, though, beautiful dodge, draws his man through and just throws that little pass over to Gardner, who once again makes no mistake on that crease.
I talked to Darius Kilgore about Anson Gardner. I was saying, I was really impressed with his maturity and how much he's grown. And he said, yeah, he was telling us he's switched from pop to water. He's watching what he eats. He's working out. And Darius said, yeah, I told him. Darius actually sat him a handful of games this summer and said, you got to get in shape. You got to be able to keep up and do the workouts in practice. You got to be able to practice with us at full speed. If you can't, you're not playing. And he didn't play for a while. And Gardner turned his game and his life around. Oh, what a twister. But the big hit sends Seneca to the floor. The save by Jared Harris. Some forecheck pressure. Robson Ramsey had to go up and get that one. Came down in very quick feet to get himself out of hazard. Backdoor pass to Johnston. He had no angle, so he goes to Bloomfield. Pup's going to survey. Ducks underneath, wide open. Oh, big save. Benedict throws that left arm out as Pup tried to go fake high, go wide. That's what I think the Anson Gardner story is very cool.
Yeah.
Because he's matured so much, and you can see, that's some leadership from a coach. One of the great all-time coaches. Showing him, you've got to be committed. You got to get out and do what you need to do, and he did it.
Yeah, you can't just show up at the rink. You got to work away from it, whether it be in your diet or in workouts.
Pass is picked off by Mulholland. Declan Mulholland tries to bounce one through. Benedict just drops on that ball. Now, they're going to call too many men against the Seneca War Chiefs. There's a discussion. Are we going to see a penalty shot? Did it affect the shot? I don't feel like it did. I felt like he got to shoot whatever he wanted to, but I'm sure that's what the discussion was there.
Yeah, I think that's what the call was. We saw a penalty shot awarded yesterday in the primetime game.
Here it is. And you can see he got whatever he wanted. There's no impact on the shot. And that is the determining factor, not just if he had a wide open breakaway. If it had changed what he was able to do, if it had taken away from his opportunity to get a shot off, absolutely. So on the power play, trailing by 1, Calgary Shamrocks. Here's Lemire. Thought about shooting. Up to Sundholm. He'll bounce one. Benedict had some trouble with it, but it was going wide. I mean, he made the save and then pounced on it to the side of him. Here come the War Chiefs. They're going to push the pace. Driving to the net. Good Salinas. Just muscles his way in, and then a beautiful drop step to open up a shooting lane and tucks it home, and Gutch is fired up.
We saw Gutch Salinas playing out the back door yesterday. It looks like he's getting a few reps out this O door, and for good reason. Not only does he have that big body, which he uses here, but you see that one little fake to the far side, twister to the other side. Scores a big shorty to take a 4-2 lead.
That's 2 shorthanded goals for the War Chiefs, and there's the difference in your game. We're going to have a water break for the goaltenders. We were talking about some of the statistics all time in the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League. We talked about the Blizzard, Manitoba Blizzard players earlier. For the Shamrocks, Cordell Hastings. Oh, first of all, we just want to thank Big Boys Gas and Tobacco for their contributions to making this possible. But Cordell Hastings, number 4 all time in the Rocky Mountain League, 153 goals and 189 assists for 342 points. Just behind him is Colby Fraser. More games, 189, 337 points. And he's number 5. And Eric Lemire is number 10 with 277 points, including 105 goals. Sorry, we don't have the number of games. The G is goals. It's 189 goals for Fraser. Not as many assists with 148, but just 5 points behind. Here's a chance for the War Chiefs off the crossbar. Almost made it a 5-2 game.
That would have just blown the roof off this joint. A lot of Seneca fans here on hand at the Turtle Dome.
There's a chance right in the front. That one might have gone off the iron. Calgary will get a reset.
Great pass and feed to the inside. It's just Colby Fraser not being able to finish. We saw him score 5 goals yesterday. His shots here today aren't sinking like they were yesterday, that's for sure. See, Seneca's gonna just have 25 seconds left to kill off this remainder of the Shamrocks power play. And that's exactly what they're gonna do, and the Shamrocks are gonna let them do it.
Yeah, everyone's just going to stand, and that's one of the issues with the 30-second shot clock not running when a team is shorthanded. And at the other end, Troy Benedict has got his gloves off, stuck in the top of his pads, his bottoms, and is just just adjusting everything, making sure he's comfortable for the next time he has to face a shot. Nice behind the back flip by Williams. Great save. It rolls along, but a bit of a break there for Jared Ferris. He didn't know where that ball was going. It just rolled right down his arm. Luckily bounced just wide of the net.
And he's lucky he turned the other way. I think if he would have went the other way, he might have bat that ball in his own net.
James Johnston. There's a big pick. That's going to be too much. Johnston leaves it there. And the War Chiefs will come forward. 4-2 they lead. We're nearing the midway point. 11:35 to go here in the second period. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire on JVI Sports Network. War Chiefs go to the offense. Gutch Salinas to Seneca. Penalty coming. A holding call. And that would have to be against the War Chiefs, since Calgary had the ball.
Yep.
Okay.
Holding the stick penalty.
Okay. So it's an offensive end penalty, which does not happen very often. Remember, Cormark is building success together. They are one of the sponsors here at the Founders Cup 2018. We thank them for their contributions. So on the power play once again, there's a shot off the arm and then off the post. Lemire took that one, scooped back up by Houghton. Here's Sundholm. He dropped it for a moment and has a checker right on him. Gets things moving. There's a backdoor chance. Oh, Pup can't catch the ball. And is snagged there by Ryan Kidd. Big pick by Troy Benedict. He loves to step out and set those. He's pretty set. I mean, he gets his feet set and just steps into his spot and lays them out. Defense applied by Robson Ramsey. It looked for a moment like the War Chiefs may go to the net. Clay Scanlon hanging out near the restraining line, gradually stepping down a bit and goes back up. They're not pressuring him, so he's not going to pass the ball unless he has to, especially if he doesn't have anyone open. And not really much opening up for the War Chiefs. Now he'll throw it across and let Gutch Salinas kill a bit of time. Scanlon will go and set a pick, and Sherman Williams picked up nicely though by Nicholas Drennan, and Salinas gonna go to the bench and take a bit of a rest after he flipped it behind his back over to Clay Scanlon. 38 seconds left on the penalty. Calgary has a couple defenders starting to close in. John Giebus high, Declan Mulholland low, and there's a break to the net. Scanlon retreats, spins, skips out from between those two players. I don't know how you catch Clay Scanlon.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Simple as that. He's got one of the best first steps in Junior B Lacrosse, and once he gets going, it's almost impossible to catch him again.
I was going to say the rest of the steps are pretty good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first step is just so quick, and the change of direction.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a running back. Reminds me of like a Matt Forte.
Okay.
Maybe he's a bit more of a banger.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Reggie Bush.
Okay, I could go with that.
Yeah.
In his
oh, there
USC
he
days?
is, open. He kind of picked it up again when he got in Miami too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just moments.
bit.
He always had flashes in the pros. Just never lived up to that top billing.
I was gonna say maybe LaShawn McCoy, cutting on a dime, as they call him.
Yeah, LaShawn McCoy. I like that one. Big hit, hugely laid on by Liam Anderson. But then when the ball is loose, just a little bit too much, and they hand the ball back to Calgary. Boy, that's going to drive Darius Kilgore nuts. There's a shot, but it's a crease violation by Trimmer. Outlet chance, but it doesn't connect. It's behind Evan Printup, and it will go all the way down to Ferris. But the ball pops out of his stick, so Printup gets after it again. Nice rugby scrum half play there. What a move by Cale Lundell to just slide it, roll it back to his teammate with his foot. Shamrocks back up, set in the offensive zone with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Sundholm, that was a tricky one. He caught it, but then his shot goes off the foot of Hoya John. Now the stick is knocked right out of his hands. Great job there, actually, by Bloomfield, just to get a swat on that ball, roll it into the corner before the shot clock expired, so that his teammates can get out and be set in defense. Wide open chance. Keelan Seneca just missing. Big swap by Devin Bell, number 19 for Calgary, playing some tough D. Outside shot. Calgary's had some chances. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the shots are in this period. I think, again, Seneca probably more high-quality chances, but Calgary, it feels like, has been producing more opportunities to score. They just haven't quite been able to finish. Benedict with some great saves, and just a few misses, a few posts. Pup gets pushed off there by Kidd. Oh, there's one. Nothing but net. Bryce Trimmer just loads it up and lets her go.
Yeah, this is just a perfectly placed shot. Absolutely no chance Benedict can have this. You see just a nice transfer pass over east-west, and that just goes right in between the hole of the arm. Like I said, I don't think you could put that ball anywhere else on the net any better.
Yeah, well, I mean, the arm of Benedict came up, and the top part of the arm had the rest of the net covered, so it actually had to be down there. So maybe a little bit of fortune, good fortune for Trimmer. Sometimes that's what you need, is just a bit of a break. Pup with the assist. He is so integral to this offense. He's involved in everything. There's a chance, and Fraser is stopped. It rolls up over Benedict. Ball still loose and is eventually picked up there by Jimmy Chadwick. He's going to glide up over center and just flip it up for Scanlon. Still one more War Chief to come out. Hanson Gardner's going to go back. As the shot clock was expiring, heads up play by the youngster. And a defender comes out and immediately picks up a player coming off the Calgary bench, James Johnston. Kind of leap to get that one. He flits down along the far boards. Such quick feet on James Johnston. Ball is stripped. Great back check by Eli Cross, or forecheck by Eli Cross. And then the ball goes off a Seneca player out into their bench. And Eli Cross is going to have to wait for a ball from the official, because the War Chiefs were not about to hand him the one that went into their bench and let him get going right away. Pup to Johnson. Big foot save. Johnston tracks it down. That was actually Eli Cross shooting, sorry. Drive to the net by Pup. He can't find the mark. Cross gets it. Thinks about going up. He does. Houghton will move it around quickly. Trimmer scored the last goal. Now he passes it off to Pup. That ball may have been tipped. Cross will go and track it down, though. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second. There's a shot on the far side. Then we have a moving pick called. Ball didn't go in anyway, but it was awfully close, coming down off that crossbar.
Yeah, that one almost went bar down into the net, just maybe half an inch on the other side of the pipe, and could have had ourselves a goal there.
Seneca taking their time. Bielik comes across to Gardner, who gives it up there to Seneca. It's a cutter. Gardner, the pick, the roll. Nice save by Ferris. That was a lovely pick and roll. Good shot by Gardner, but Ferris is so sharp. Houghton to Sundholm. They're going to set trying to set a seal. Pup couldn't get it through. There's a War Chief up the floor. Bloomfield goes back to pick him up, and then there's a violation in the Calgary offensive end, and they're going to get the ball back. Sundholm sprints in to be on the crease and open up some space for Pup. He goes back door. Houghton couldn't handle it, and Benedict scoops it up. I'm pretty sure this is on pace to be the lowest scoring game that we've got in this tournament. And yet, one of the most exciting.
Yeah.
Proves that goals don't always equal excitement. Some solid defense, some really outstanding goaltending. So the lowest combined total is 16 at this point. Another save by Ferris to keep it down to 7 for this one. Very first game of the day of the tournament,
yes.
Manitoba and Saskatchewan, a 10-6 final. We've got 7. So that would put us on pace for about 12 at this point. Johnston runs off a check. They've got 10 to get a shot off. That pass is through to Fraser. He can't get the shot through, though. Now he's going to scoop up that ball and has a chance. That's a live ball. There's already, there's a penalty coming. Illegal cross check. And it probably has something to do with Colby Fraser being firmly planted in the Seneca net.
Yeah, Colby Fraser having a little rough go. We saw him getting worked on his chin, and when I had the interview with them, you could see a little blood dripping down from his chin. Now he gets banged into the net, and he's slowly limping off. But I said it to you earlier in the day, you know, you're at this point in the season, if you're not feeling the bumps and bruises of your lacrosse grind, are you really doing it properly?
Yeah. So power play for the Calgary Shamrocks. 3:08 to go in the second period. They trail by 1, 4-3. The penalty goes to Sherman Williams. Sent home to Pup down in the crease. 3 righties for Calgary. Lemire loads it up, doesn't shoot. Sundholm's going to pass. Gets it back, he'll shoot this time. That one stopped, and Sundholm sprints to the bench. The ball in Troy Benedict's stick, he hands it off. And Jimmy Chadwick kind of may have forgotten that he had to get the ball across the line. You can hear the entire bench letting him know, and he does sprint up. You have 10 seconds to get into the offensive zone. Other than that, there is no count to get across center in CLA lacrosse. And then Chadwick was about to run outside the restraining line and had to be pointed in. And then the ball is stripped away from Andrew Forte, who was pointing him. Great pickup there by Mulholland, and he'll hand it off to James Johnston. Calgary taking their time to get their offensive set going. Johnston at the top, 3 lefties this time. Near side shot, scores Bryce Trimmer. A little lower than the last one, but just as effective. We have a 4-4 game.
Bryce Trimmer started this game off taking probably the roughest bump that we saw. His bucket nearly came off, but things are starting to go his way as he has his second goal of the game, this time on the power play. And like you said, winds up. Instead of going through the hole, he chooses the 5-hole this time. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Pat's going to head down to floor level. And who are you going to be talking to, Pat? Jimmy Chadwick will join us in the intermission. We'll join Pat in the intermission, so make sure you stick around for the first part of the intermission. Hoya John comes up with the ball, passes over to Evan Printup, and Seneca will try to get that goal back immediately. 4-4 the score. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire, known as 3Gs. He is heading down to floor level. Attempted drive underneath and changing the decision, or at least faking the drive underneath and making the pass. It didn't get through though. Ron John tries to swim. That's pretty nice defense there. That's Devin Bell. Ron John is not easy to stay with. He's so athletic, quick and strong, and Devin Bell, perfect positioning to keep him away from driving to the net. They leave it there for Brian Houghton. It's Calgary's turn to try and get the lead here in this game. I believe it would be their first lead of the game. Pup. There's a big pick by Sundholm. Not too big though, so they maintain possession. Pup's going to spin off his check. Shot well high. They've got 2 left to get a shot, and they do. James Johnston, he's fired up as well he should be. That shot from Pup off the boards comes bounding out to Johnston, and he absolutely rifles it home to the far side. And he is still celebrating. You see how much that one missed by, but it turns into a perfect pass. And there is the celly. Calgary with their first lead of the game, 5-4. 58.1 seconds to go here in the second period. Wow, this is a game, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Huge battle for this loose ball, scooped up by Hoya John, but it bounces away. Declan Mulholland gets it. He throws it ahead. There's Trimmer under pressure. He's got a couple of teammates. He'll roll it to them. Not sure if it'll get there. Ron John lost his stick and just bodies Bloomfield away from it, but eventually Bloomfield shows some resiliency and gets that ball back for Calgary. 30 seconds to go. They've only got 6 on the shot clock. They're going to try and get a reset, but it's going to be Hoya John who comes up with it. Don't see a timeout coming for the War Chiefs. They've got 1 man up the floor, but a whole bunch of Shamrocks get out with him. Sherman Williams takes it back. 10 seconds on the clock. Williams cuts to the middle. So far, good defense. Oh, but then they leave a man open. Great save by Ferris. He bails them out after we had a wide open look on the crease. And through 40 minutes of play, the score 5-4 in favor of the Calgary Shamrocks. What a period for Calgary. Pat Gregoire is down, tracking down Jimmy Chadwick. Please do follow us, and we'd love to hear from you. I am at Stamplax on Twitter. Pat is at P. Greggy, and we as a collective are at JVI Video. Pat is down on the floor. That is not Jimmy Chadwick. I believe that's Gutch Salinas. Go ahead.
Stephen, I had to grab Gutch Salinas here from Salinas.
Salinas,
there you go. That's the confirmation there. So Gutch Salinas, we were talking. I was going to grab Jimmy Chadwick, but he was a little sick on the bench there from going so hard. Now, Gutch, back to the game here. The Shamrocks, they were playing. The Shamrocks really pushing near the end there. What was working for them to allow them to, take the lead in this game?
Shamrocks right now, all they're doing is working hard. They're outworking us. I don't know how many ground balls they've gotten over us, and that's really all it comes down to. Our offense have had the chances. Our offense is doing our systems. We're moving the ball well. We're getting our opportunities, but we're just not finishing. Our goalie is playing lights out right now. If it wasn't for the goalie, I don't know where the score would be at.
Now, what adjustments do you guys need to make in this final third period to come out with a big win?
I think to make the adjustments that we need to do is probably regroup in the locker room. Regroup in the locker room, regroup between ourselves, because right now we're beating ourselves. Right now we're starting to argue amongst each other, and that's when teams start to fall apart. We need to relax. It's only a 5-4 game. There's 20 minutes left, and we can pull it out. We can pull it out. We definitely can pull it out.
All right, well, you go regroup, rally the troops, and good luck in the third period. Thank you, and thank you for the late addition. Good Salinas there with our interview. We'll hope to maybe get Jimmy Chadwick later on in this tournament. We have a huge third period coming up here on JVI Sports Network. We'll be back for possibly the final frame.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2018 Founders Cup. We've got a Jim Dandy of a game here. That seems very 1920s. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Pat Gregoire. It's 5-4 in favor of the Calgary Shamrocks. And how did they get there?
Well, you see right here, 3 straight goals. The first one here was an absolute beauty, a bounce shot that goes top shelf from Johnston, and then we'll see one here from Trimmer. Number 15 there, Tristan, there's that shot off the glass. Bad bounce again, and Johnstone just fires that on. I was actually walking down, so that's the first time I saw that goal there.
Another bouncer.
Yeah, another bouncer. He does.
There's the schedule for tomorrow. The Calgary-Coquitlam game is going to be big. Elora, Saskatchewan that's a big game, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Elora's putting things away. Seneca and North Shore at 5 o'clock. Mohawk Medicine Men versus Manitoba Blizzard. That will be the end of round robin play here at the Founders Cup on JVI Sports Network at the Akwesasne territory. And I did get word from our convener at the tournament that the stats, the reason the stats are not up to date on the website, the Founders Cup website, is there was a volunteer in place to do it. They had to drop out at the last minute. And they hadn't been able to get someone, but they have found someone, and the word is they will be updated either tonight or in the morning. And all the games, they have all the information, all the games will be updated, so you can go to the Founders Cup cross site on the CLA Point Street site and get everything. We're going to take advantage of that.
Certainly will.
We are underway here in period 3, maybe the deciding period. The way this one's going, overtime clearly a distinct possibility. I know I gave you a hard time for saying that earlier, but I was just kidding. I'm quite sure that nothing we say up here influences what happens down on the floor. Same with the old shutout thing. Me saying shutout up here doesn't make a goalie give up a goal.
You know what? Me being a pretty superstitious guy, I think I have to disagree.
But you're the one who said overtime earlier.
That's different.
You don't mind overtime. Here's a breakaway. Shot goes well high up over the net, and Calgary gets possession. Sundholm hands it off. Ball pops away from Cross, but he will track it down. High pass though to Sundholm. He's going to head to the bench and get a defender out, but not in time. There's a wide open chance and a goal. Just a series of mistakes for the Shamrocks, and Ryan Kidd, the alternate captain, goes in and bounces one to tie it up.
You almost had a feeling that was coming up. Like you mentioned, after all those careless turnovers and mistakes by the Shamrocks, and probably the biggest mistake of them all was how slow they were coming off the floor to allow this Seneca team to push the ball down the floor. Ryan Kidd had a ton of time, and we're now starting to see that transition game start to wake up for the Seneca team. I said at the start of the broadcast that the best time or the best team that we see from the War Chiefs is when they're playing fast and furious, and that's what's happening early in this third period.
And we do have the shots from that second period. It was 17-16 in favor of the Seneca War Chiefs, which makes it 36-31 overall, still in favor of Calgary, as they had a strong edge in the first period. And the faceoffs, 8-3 through 2 periods in favor of the Seneca War Chiefs. Thanks to, once again, to Ralph Gubler for that. Love the support that we get from folks who are watching. Ralph Gubler here in the arena just came over and said, hey, would you like some stats? We love stats.
Yes, we do.
That pass rolls all the way back to center. Ron John smartly just lofts it in to the corner as the shot clock was about to expire. Cody Bielik actually going hard after it, but the shot clock will run out. There's some pressure up past the far restraining line. Tristan Jensen now retreating. He's covering a lot of ground in this defensive shift. He is the one picking up Bloomfield. Now Bloomfield taking on by Jimmy Chadwick. Nice to see him recover. Bloomfield scores! Great drive to the net, slips through the defensive pressure, and chucks home one of the biggest goals of his career.
Yeah, Marshall Bloomfield. Looks like he's in a little bit of trouble here, but just a miscommunication on defense there as Tristan Jensen and Jimmy Chadwick don't talk, call out if there's a switch or if they need to stay with their man, and Bloomfield just goes down and throws that nice little fake and cashes in.
6-5, the Shamrocks respond, get back on top. Just 2.5 minutes into the third period, and we have almost as many goals as we had in the entire first. In that 2.5 minutes, it was 2-1 for Seneca after the first 20 minutes. Then a big second for Calgary, 4-2, outscoring the War Chiefs. Go up 5-4. Oh, that pass doesn't connect with Fraser. It's grabbed by Benedict, and Seneca will go back the other direction.
Just looking at the last medalist, Alberta has medaled 3 in their last 5 years, so they're looking to do it once again for the first time back-to-back in a long time.
Yeah, the Red Deer Rampage last year, getting that silver medal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, losing in the final to the Orangeville Northmen. There's a shot from the outside by Ron John, which will trigger the delayed penalty. It's too many men against Calgary. We've had quite a few of those called. The teams just trying to get out and take away the breakaway chances. So power play opportunity coming as Logan Sundholm goes to serve 2 minutes or less. Sherman Williams at the top. To Gardner, he'll get it back from Scanlon. Emerson Stevens at the righty shooter spot. Gets the pass. He's got some room, tries to go to the back door. Gardner couldn't quite catch it. Scanlon has it, backpedals. Stevenson, he's looking to pass, and I wouldn't mind him stepping in and taking a shot there at some point, or at least seeing if it's available. There's a chance for Bielek. It goes off the foot of Ferris, and straight back for a fresh 30 for the Seneca War Chiefs. They're working around the outside again. They have a man on the back door. Passing lane is not there. Gardner. Stevenson. Patience by the War Chiefs. When are they going to go? Here's their chance. Williams, great check though. Nice effort by Robson Ramsey. Down to 2 seconds on the shot clock. They get it off, but it is stopped by Ferris. And there's that sidearm fling. Gets it ahead to Pup. Pup to Lemire. He's cutting to the net, but he was in the middle of 3 defenders. That's a wise decision to hang on and kill off as much of this penalty as they can. All kinds of pressure from the War Chiefs, and Pup, great job to get through it. Thinks about passing to Fraser. He's not open. Nobody's open. Calgary needs to give him somewhere to go with it. Oh, there's a penalty. The stick gets up into the face of Lemire. It's just going to be a 2. There was nothing vicious about that. Just he just ran up into him and got the stick up onto the face mask. Easy for us to say it's not vicious. If you're Eric Lemire, you might feel differently.
We'll see the replay here, how vicious or non-vicious it was. I think that...
Kind of take that back.
I think... The thing with that one there, though, too, at the same time, yeah, it is a cross-check right to the face, but...
Lemire's spinning.
And Jimmy Chadwick is already committed to...
Yeah, Lemire is going to the box as well.
Oh.
I wonder, and nothing else being put up so far. Oh, there it is. Lemire gets a deuce. I didn't see what it was for. I'll have to listen. Maybe it's an unsportsmanlike. He may have let the refs know he wasn't happy. Which is a Mitch for holding? What was he holding? Maybe an error. So it is 4-on-3 for the War Chiefs. Houghton with the fake pass, spins around. We'll go twister pass to Pup. Pup's got a lane to the net. He's going there. shoots twister far side. And Sundholm had come out of the box. The ball rolls right to him off the crossbar. Great chance by Pup, just missed putting that one home. We're 4-on-4, and we'll stay that way for this final 111 of those matching penalties. Johnston gets it back. He has a pair of bouncer goals today. What a big game for him. There's Sundholm, rips it, no problem for Benedict. Looks up the floor, no outlet available. So he'll just make the short pass. No long outlet available, that is. They get it ahead to Scanlon, who gives it off to Seneca. Good Salinas takes it. Scanlon cuts through, now sets a pick. Or Seneca cut through and set the pick for Scanlon. He'll give him the ball now. 6 on the shot clock. Scanlon jukes in, jukes out. Great defense there by John Gieb. But still, Scanlon's able to get through and get a shot away, but it goes wide. It's going to roll all the way down the floor. And it'll be picked up there by Bryce Trimmer to start play. 31 seconds left. Oh, yeah, they're going to start back in the other end. Nice little cut down. Sliding through the middle, a great slide though, and then the shot by Cross. That one stopped by the shoulder of Benedict. He didn't have possession. Now he pulls it back in. Cross almost got that loose ball. He would have had a great chance.
Good Eli Cross. Couple of chances here. Throws that little question mark. Field dodge.
Double team, and we're going to have a holding call coming up to Jack Murrah as he just got tangled up. Goalie is going to the bench. Benedict gets there. So it's 6-on-5. Hard shot from the outside by Williams. Reminder that Big Boys Gas and Tobacco is a proud sponsor of the 2018 Founders Cup. And Cormark, building success together. So both of those, Cormark and Big Boys, thank you very much for helping us to put this tournament on, while helping the Mohawk Medicine Man and Galawate Mitchell, who really organized things, and Bonnie Rouet and Lori, what's Lori's last name? Gardner, thank you. They've put so much work into this, making this happen, and for helping the games be streamed here on JVI Sports Network. Scanlon to Sherman Williams, hard off the post. That ricocheted out with authority straight to the Seneca War Chiefs. Anson Gardner thought about taking one, passed it back door. That goes just wide. Gardner's going to get it back, scoop it up, and a fresh 30 as that one went off the goalie as well. Gardner, little feed to Scanlon and gets it back. Just kind of places that shot, comes right to himself, but Ferris is ready to stop that one. 1:15 to go in the penalty. Here comes Pup to accept that pass. Fraser behind the back. Slightly risky, but he gets it out to Houghton, no problem. Shamrocks fans wanting a penalty there as the stick rode up onto the back of the neck, but that's not going to be a call. But Houghton not looking very comfortable as he comes off, as he passes it away. Pup sees something he likes, goes to the net. Oh, sorry, that's Lemire. He decides to pull it out. Boy, I thought he'd gotten there and had a shot.
I thought so too.
Pup, cross to Fraser. Drops it, steps out of bounds, over the line, puts it down. He realizes his mistake immediately, and Seneca's got 38 seconds on the power play to work with to try and tie it up. 6-5, the Shamrocks lead. What a great lacrosse game. Scanlon over to Seneca. Stevenson on this side tries to pass backdoor, gets it to Williams. Then they try to go to Bielik. He can't catch it. It's bouncing around. They do come up with it. That shot is going to go wide. Had to be rushed by Seneca as the shot clock about to wind down, and it does expire. 7 seconds now. It'll be easy for the Shamrocks to kill the penalty. James Johnson was racing down into the corner to get to the ball, but once again, they're going to start up at the top with Eli Cross. Penalty expires. Lob pass across, and we'll see what Bryce Trimmer can do. He's waiting to make sure they've got their extra offensive man out. The trailer is Fraser, but he'll shoot, and it'll bounce out back to himself. Trimmer trying to run out of trouble, gets there. There's Cross. Dodging underneath. Up top to Johnston. Fraser's got a lane he likes. That one's swallowed up, no problem for Benedict. Boy, the way Troy Benedict and Ferris are playing, I don't think you're going to beat either of them with something they see as easily as that one. Good Salinas hands it off, and now the ball with Bielik. Cody Bielik directing traffic. Stevenson. Long pass across the top of the set. Swim move. Pretty nice defensive play there by Jack Murrah to limit what he could do with that shot. There's Ron John forechecking. Here come the Shamrocks. We're past the midway point now of this third period. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. Thank you for being with us, lacrosse friends. What an exciting matchup. Ducking underneath. Thought he was going to maybe have a go. Connor Pup changes his mind, comes back out. There's a shot by Houghton that goes well wide. Oh, but it's picked up and just gets out of the stick of David Schuyler, who's a little bit too excited to go forward. And Darius Kilgore is saying, basically just saying, calm down.
I mentioned to you off camera, it seems like maybe the War Chiefs haven't really faced much adversity, going undefeated, and a lot of their victories
and
coming
unchallenged for the most part,
coming by double digits or you know, big margins. So this might be the only adversity that they have faced so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, they actually got a bit of a challenge when they faced the U.S. in these uniforms as the FNLA All-Stars and as themselves once, but even those they won fairly handily.
And at the same time, it's not a meaningful game, just an exhibition or a tune-up game, right? So
yeah, a little bit different.
With a lot on the line here.
There's a shot that I'm not sure if it got off Ferris. No, the shot clock expires. Here come the Shamrocks. They picked it up anyway, and the War Chiefs had headed off to get their defenders on. Thinking about a drive to the net was Bloomfield. Looked like he might take a shot there. I don't know if he was actually going to do it. 15 on the shot clock, and they throw it clear of Sundholm. He's going to hustle after it. Hoya John, though, will get there, cause a loose ball. Great play by John to see the situation and know that he had a chance to get there and get it away from Sundholm before Sundholm was able to gather it in completely. 8:18 to go. There's a chance for Williams. Hard shot goes off of Ferris. That one rolls back to Ferris. With 8 minutes to go, they are picking. That pass does get through. It's going to be picked up by Cross. He's got a trailer, but Trimmer was not available. They pick players of the game in every contest, and I would say in this one, if it's not both goalies, I will be thoroughly surprised.
Yeah, both goalies have been fantastic in this contest.
Driving to the net. Going for his hat trick, but not able to find it, was Bryce Trimmer.
And if you had to pick someone for Calgary that wasn't a goalie, Trimmer or maybe even Johnston as well.
Yeah, maybe Johnston, I would say. But yeah, they've both contributed. For Seneca, I don't know, I'd have to kind of think about that one. Here's Sherman Williams, he'll miss it. That's going to go way up into the crowd and bounce back out and roll just past the empty net. Down to our right.
With all the chances this Seneca team has had, you just kind of have a feeling here with 7 minutes to go.
That one of them's going to get through.
One of those are just going to break through, and
yeah.
You hate to say it, but I mean, Nick Ferris has been just so steady. You know, he hasn't really spotted them one yet. He's been near perfect. They've had to be perfect to beat him so far tonight.
Yeah, Jared Ferris. You're thinking Nick Ferris.
Yeah, sorry, Jared
for the
Ferris.
Western Mustangs. Nick Ferris is quite a player too.
He is.
Also from Alberta.
Yes.
So natural. And no, they're spelled differently, but still, natural confusion. There's Stevenson. I'm just glad it's not just me that does that. Seneca taking their time, not really seeming too sure what they want to do on this power play. Gardner to Williams. They want him to rip it. It's off of Ferris and is tracked down by Bielik. Now they come to Gardner. Seneca gives it right back to him. Stevenson. That one's tipped away, and the ball is loose. Oh no, it skips past Stevenson. Quick shot. Bielik was in the crease. He went through it. Great call by the official right on top of it. Is that Calvin Roseberry? Nice job of being in perfect position and spotting that infraction. Connor Pupp's going to slow it down a little bit as they are still shorthanded for another minute and actually 1 minute right now. Pup starts to go to the net. Has to come through a check. There's the butt end of a stick is rolling around in the middle of the floor. Hopefully it won't cause any issues for anyone if they step on it. Pup. Double team coming. Going to try and split through it. There's a duck underneath it. He's going near the edge and just flings it behind him. I think he actually had some chances to try and get that to someone. I'm not sure why. He just tossed that. And Darius Kilgore is calling his troops over. Everybody come to the bench. Let's just set up the we're on the power play. And they have a full possession to work with. There's Williams. Stevenson gets it back. Gardner at the top. Stevenson to Clay Scanlon. His shot is off of Ferris. Fresh 30, but they've only got 5 on the power play. They're going to try something. There's Stevenson. Scanlon, he'll shoot. It's dangerous. It comes out. Can he pounce on it? There's a man up the floor. Oh, but Ferris doesn't get up there in time. What's that call? Is that a timeout by? Oh, water break. Okay. So Jared Ferris pounced on the loose ball. If he had seen the man coming out of the box, he could have thrown that ahead. I believe it was Eric Lemire, was it, coming out? No.
I wasn't looking upfield. I was trying to see Ferris smother that ball. We'll see it here, maybe.
There's Scanlon with a pretty good chance. He makes the stop. It's down beside him. He pounces on it, wants to make sure he's got it. Now he looks up and he's like, no, he's not open anymore. I want some water. Don't blame him. It is hot in here. We're very fortunate to have this fan behind us. Thank you to Rusty Dockstader.
You know what? Obviously, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I think the right play, the smart play, I should say, is smothering that ball, making sure it doesn't leave the crease. If he goes out, tries to pull that out, and it squirts out to Seneca, you're probably now saying you probably should try to control that rebound instead.
Yeah, but if he throws the outlet and hits the guy in stride and he goes down and scores, it looks pretty good.
Like I said, a little easier said than done.
Yeah. Nice forecheck effort by Bloomfield. The ball pops loose. Nobody able to get it at this point, and eventually is picked up by Ryan Kidd. He had a huge goal for the War Chiefs earlier, but he's going to head to the bench this time, and they will let the offense set up. Eight on the shot clock for the War Chiefs. Because again, they're pretty methodical. Williams will just rip and rear back and rip it. And Ferris, no problem with that one. Now he's going to make the outlet pass. No danger on that one.
Nope.
Pup. He's going to the net, shoots off the inside of the post. That was about 2 millimeters from going in. 4 minutes to play. Ball is left there. And Anson Gardner. Boy, the War Chiefs are being very, very patient.
Just no panic with this team.
Yeah. Which I think is a good thing for them. I don't know. It almost feels like they're being too patient at times. Bielik trying to drive through, but Cale Lundell repels him. That shot bounces. It's going to roll all the way back down the floor, and the shot clock will expire.
It's one of those things, you want a healthy balance of patience, but you still want to play with a little bit of a sense of urgency.
Exactly. Trimmer, pass up to Bloomfield. He scored a huge goal. He's got, right now, the go-ahead goal. Johnston gets a pick from Bloomfield. Bit of a slip pick. Johnston's shot goes wide on the near side. Scooped up there. There's Liam Anderson getting it ahead. That pass low, but it is tracked down by Forte. Goes up to Salinas. Scanlon down low. Williams spins to the net, scores! What a play! Spin and drop step by Sherman Williams, and we are tied at 6 with 2:46 to play in the third period.
And that's why this War Chiefs team plays with no panic, all patience. You see right here, beautiful spin move, throws his defender in the spin cycle, keeps his feet in bounds, and finds his way to beat Jared Ferris, who at some points has looked near impenetrable.
Forte and Cross on the battle. It's a big draw here. Seneca has it, but then the ball is knocked loose. The stick out of the hands. They pick it up again, and it's Clay Scanlon who gets it. Into the final 2.5 minutes of regulation time, that is. We may be going for some extras. Saved by Ferris, no problem with that one. He's looking up the floor. Pup had to wait for a moment to make sure he wasn't early. And that causes the ball to be loose. The stick gets away from Evan Printup, but Troy Benedict is able to go rake it back to himself. 2 minutes to go.
Gotta love how active Benedict is in and outside of his crease. Loves raking up the ball. Loves setting those picks too behind the net we've seen.
Williams gives it back down to Gardner. Bielik has the ball pop away from him. And it is picked up by Jack Murrah. Houghton leaves it for Bloomfield. The phalanx of Shamrocks all coming off the bench together. Pass doesn't get to... Oh, and now a breakaway. Wide open chance for Cameron Carpenter. Saved by the hand of Ferris.
Unbelievable.
Diego Maradona would say that was the hand of God. Hopefully everyone gets that World Cup reference. I think it's fairly well known.
Yeah, it is.
You never know with the kids these days. Shamrocks with the ball. Lemire brings it near side. Bloomfield, bit of a change-up, tipped, twister, little tipsy doodle shot. Almost got through. We're into the final minute of regulation. Can somebody break through and end it before we go to overtime?
Never like one of those goals to decide a game.
Oh, no. Williams hands it off. Good Salinas. Couple of picks coming for him. There's a spin by Sherman Williams, that is. Well defended. The stop by Ferris is picked up in the crease. Goal! Good Salinas! Ferris is livid. We've got to see the replay. Was that ball in the crease? Ferris has his helmet off and is going absolutely nuts. And Sherman Williams calmly hands him his goal stick.
I know they call him Gooch, but they might need to start calling him Clutch with this absolutely huge goal. Picks up the rebound.
You know what? That's a good goal.
And I think that is a good goal.
What Ferris doesn't like, I think, is that Salinas came into him, but he was cross-checked in the back and knocked into him. That is a good goal. The ball rolled out of the crease again. In the CLA, unlike the NLL, you can't reach into the crease. Salinas had to be patient enough to wait till the ball is outside the line. He scoops it up, gets it away quickly, and Shamrocks on a face-off violation have the ball. They're going to take a timeout with 22.8 seconds to play. The score 7-6 in favor of the Seneca War Chiefs. This is a thriller, and we're going to have the conclusion.
Ferris is still really rattled there. You can see he's...
Yeah, Andrew Spiestad, assistant coach, is having a talk with him because they need him to be ready to go if they are able to tie this up, or if there's a chance the other way. And
yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be staying at the bench, obviously. He's actually grabbing his helmet and going, why is he going to the... Yeah, he started to go
I think he's just still so flustered right now from that.
There are people, quite a few people seem to be walking behind us and leaving. I find that surprising with 22.8 seconds to go.
Trying to beat the rush. Maybe stream it on their phones when they're in the parking lot.
Maybe. All right, here we go. 22.8 seconds. 7-6. Seneca. 6 runners on the floor for the Shamrocks. Big battle in front. They set up back a chance. Oh, what a save! Troy Benedict denies Colby Fraser. They have one last chance. There's Fraser. He scores! Colby Fraser has tied it up. The double seal for the first shot. The ball comes back to him, and he buries it. Colby Fraser dropped his head. He couldn't believe he missed the first one, and now he is fired up about getting the second one. What a finish to regular. Well, we got 11.1 seconds left. Oh, that pass by Brian Houghton.
Unbelievable. Brian Houghton, I mentioned it before, just a machine on the loose balls. Picks that loosie up, fires it over to his captain. And Colby Fraser scoring a huge goal for his team to knot this one up at sevens with 11 seconds to go.
We're back underway. Can anybody do anything? Fraser almost grabs it. Play is blown down with 3.9. Seneca gets a timeout. And Calgary is saying that we need a redraw because nobody had possession there.
Yeah, no one did have possession there.
They're discussing it. Looks like the officials are explaining. That should be a redraw. Nobody had picked up the ball.
Davey Hallett's going to explain it over to the Calgary coaching staff.
I'm not sure what the explanation was. Can we see a replay of that, guys? Have we got that? But I don't think anybody picked the ball up, so I don't see how you can call a timeout, but what a play to finish off. Now we're neutral, and we just, whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses this game, it will be a shame. But to me, the 10-minute overtime that would come seems kind of appropriate.
Oh, absolutely. The way this game has gone, back and forth.
And back and forth.
Lead changes, momentum shifting between the both two teams. This has been an instant classic. One for the books between these two teams. And, I mean, you get clutch Salinas scoring that huge goal, thinking this entire building, like you said, people leaving, assuming this game is over. And then next thing you know, with 11 seconds left, and we still might have a chance
4 seconds,
here.
the goaltender is out. Sherman Williams is going to let it fly. It's wide, and we do go to overtime. We will have a 10-minute full overtime period. If it is tied after that, then we'll go to sudden victory. Oh, that was one of the most exciting final sequences, final minute and a half or so. Let's take a peek at both of them when we get a chance, as there is Darius Kilgore talking to his club. And there are the Calgary Shamrocks huddled around their coaching staff.
Both these teams so well coached.
Yeah. Here we go. The first one from Gutch Salinas, right on top of the crease. You can see he is banged in from behind. That's definitely a good goal, as mad as Ferris is. And then at the other end, what a play by Brian Houghton to just make that lever pass in perfect time and perfect position, and then Fraser buries it at the end.
Yeah, Fraser had those 5 goals yesterday, but I think you can throw those 5 goals out and trade it in for that one, because that one was absolutely huge. He's one of the all-time RMLL leading scorers. He's been filling the stat sheet for his entire junior career, but Stephen, you certainly got to think that's one of, if not the most important goal of his junior career so far.
So we have just a couple of minutes in between. We actually have an interesting question from Ontario Junior Field Lacrosse on Twitter, asking you and I what our opinions are on the transition and fast break game of the Founders so far, with the benches on opposite sides. They thought maybe we'd see a little bit more of a factor from the transition game. I'll tell you, there's been the odd one where you can see teams have been a bit confused. I think there have been a few where it really was a huge factor, but for the most part, I am a little surprised too. I thought there might be more trouble, there might be more just mistaken changes to that. We've mentioned it occasionally, but not a whole lot.
I think the first day, we saw a lot more transition opportunities and teams really capitalize it. But I think you can speak to the coaching and the adjustments that these teams have made. That just shows how quickly that these teams recognize, to take away the advantage of that long bench. And I think you got to tip your hat to, an example right here, Darius Kilgore, one of the better coaches in the game, made his adjustments. He's allowed, a Calgary team where we saw yesterday, they were pushing transition all game long. They've done a good job getting back in reverse transition, getting their defenders out the back door.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. And we are underway in the overtime again. 10 full minutes.
Yep.
And we will see what happens. Got to give some credit to this Calgary coaching staff as well. You're talking about how good they both are. The head coach is Jason Crook for the Calgary Shamrocks. Fine job he has done. James Johnston thought about the shot. He just pulls it back. Fraser across a little bit high, but pulled down by Trimmer. Everyone's just kind of settling in a little bit. There's a shot that goes off the backboards. Oh no, something has happened. It's a hamstring cramp for Jimmy Chadwick. I mean, he was throwing up in the second intermission when you tried to get an interview with him, and you can just see that he can't bend the leg. He's trying to extend it, and he was grabbing that hamstring. Boy, that can be exceptionally painful.
I know he's in excruciating pain. We'll see.
Yeah.
He just pulls up right here. That looks a lot like a cramp. Hopefully it is just a cramp.
It's either the hamstring or the calf. It's the hamstring. He's grabbing it.
It's a hamstring, but hopefully it's not a pull because those are very difficult to get over.
Yeah.
But
how about Jimmy Chadwick backing himself with his hands off the floor into the bench?
He's tough as nails.
So we are back underway, and Seneca will set up. Williams throws it down and gets the ball back. Calgary didn't do too much with their first possession of this extra frame. Let's see what the War Chiefs can do. Keelan Seneca gets it up to Clay Scanlon. He'll let it fly. That one's way wide. They've got 2 seconds on the shot clock, so that's going to expire before anybody gets to it. Bloomfield going after it, but Troy Benedict will just roll it into the corner, and play is blown back in. He can start right there in the corner. And here we go, Houghton, who made the spectacular pass to set up the tying goal. Here's Sundholm, gets it to Bloomfield. He's got to pick it up off the boards after it skipped away from him. Few Shamrocks through the middle. There's a man on the back door. Sundholm scores! Quick stick! And that was Ryan Kidd just slipping to the turf, and that is why Sundholm was wide open. Great recognition to get him the pass, and he just taps it home with those soft hands.
Well, you've seen the big man Sundholm do a lot of the freeing up of the space. Well, this time it's his teammate who frees up some space for him to get that cut to the middle. Sundholm, the first 2 games that we've seen so far, he has such a booming shot from the outside, hasn't been able to cash in. So what does he do? Gets to the middle, has that quick stick, and scores his first goal of the tournament, and the biggest one for his team so far.
8-7, they lead with 8:18 to go. It's not over. We know that from what we've seen already. And what a pick by James Johnston to free Bloomfield to be able to make that pass to Sundholm. Johnston, possibly the smallest player on the floor, and he showed that just great footwork, great positioning, made a perfect seal, just enough to get Bloomfield free. Salinas has 2 huge goals. He's looking for another one. The defensive play denies him his chance. Robson Ramsey on him. The ball is loose.
Seneca fans want to hold there, but I think in an overtime period, the refs might let them play.
Yeah. Ball pops free. Who's going to get there first? It will be Ron John. 10 seconds left on the shot clock as he emerges from that check. 3 on 5.
You try to hit Ron John, you're going to have a bad time.
The shot clock was reset, but the official was right on top of it, Dave Hallett. Both teams won their original games by 7 goals. So that's where it can really come into play. Whoever wins this one will have that goal differential difference, but it won't be by much. Bloomfield spinning off the check. Oh, finds some space. A whirling Dervish tries to pass it through to Houghton, but doesn't get there. Great protection there. And Evan Printup is going for a trot. Now he's going to the net, puts his shoulder and spins, backs up, shoots, scores! Evan Printup, a glorious end-to-end rush. That's one of the goals of the tournament.
An unbelievable individual effort from Evan Printup. Just turns on the afterburners, tricks, and bowls through with an unbelievable release. That spin move, are you kidding me?
He looks so casual as he's running down. I was actually thinking, is he not going to go to the net? I mean, he's got a chance here. And then he decided to initiate contact, put the shoulder in with the bull dodge, and then the spin, and stepped back enough to give himself plenty of room to get a full rocket off from about 3 feet outside the crease there.
Unbelievable.
8-8, 6:45 to go.
Truck stick to spin move. Usually see that from a skilled forward, but Evan Printup showing off his skill there.
Bielik looking for options. Passes it. There's Salinas. Big save by Ferris. I thought Salinas had him. There's that sidearm outlet pass to James Johnston.
Ferris so good at making those big bounce back saves after letting one in.
Yeah. So we've now tied at 16, the other lowest scoring game in the tournament, although we've played an extra 4 minutes. It's been great goaltending, but you can see how good. There's Bloomfield. He's pull it down. 4 seconds to get a shot off. He's got no one to help him, and he's just going to flip it behind him as the stick of Liam Anderson just explodes.
Yeah, one of his players.
It's taken amazing goals, amazing shots and plays to score against these goaltenders.
Oh, absolutely.
I've still got them both as the players of the game, although, I don't know, Good Salinas has been pretty darn good. Winding up and letting it fly is Bielik, but it's way wide. Picked up, no problem, by Sherman Williams. Sorry, that's Anson Gardner. His shot bounces off the pads of Ferris, but right in position is Cale Lundell. He's had a very good second half to this game, Cale Lundell, the alternate captain. Colby Fraser. There's that stick in the way. He'll just kick the head out of the way. The shaft has to stay because he was getting pressure from Evan Printup. Now he flips it off to the side. Drive to the net. Pup. Connor Pup scores. What a glorious individual effort there. Quick feet, quick hands. Buries it. 9-8. 5:07 to play.
Connor Pup has been an electric factory so far in this Founders tournament, and it's another highlight reel goal. This time, I mean, Tristan Jensen tries to get top side because normally you want to take away that top side, funnel your man into that corner, but that's just playing right into the hands of Connor Pup. He loves going inside, loves driving to the net.
Great play, and it's 9-8. And the Shamrocks get possession. Still lots of time. Fraser loses a glove, so he's just going to roll the ball to a teammate, head to the bench. And the Iroquois player flips that, tried to get it up over the glass, I think. That was Ron John. It just winds up over along the boards. And if you're wondering if that's an unsportsmanlike penalty in the making, no, I don't think so. You got to get that glove out of the way. Now, if he flipped it over the glass, maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Seneca with the ball. They can't make the pass on the backside, and it's grabbed there by Cale Lundell, continuing to shine. Outlet pass, a nice calm one hopper to Eric Lemire. And that is one of the most impressive things to see in some of these players is how poised they are in such an exciting game. Cale Lundell, he's not going to panic. Fraser has the ball. He's got a man on the back door. It's Pup, catches it. Oh, just over there, but it rolls out. Great decision by Houghton. He thought about shooting. It was not there. And here's some people in the stands saying no reset. But they do have a fresh 30. Oh, that gets away from Pup. He's a little slow going after it, so it's grabbed by Dante David. And again, easy for us to say, we're not tired. Oh! Off the post, and it's too many men on Calgary, so it's going to be a penalty. And Clay Scanlon's arguing for a penalty shot, or he's arguing that the ball was in. Meanwhile, Ron John is shaken up. He seems almost bulletproof when he's running around the floor, but he did wind up running into the end boards, I believe.
Hopefully for him, he just knocked the wind out of him, or a little bit of a stinger on the shoulder because he went flying into those boards.
We have played 66 minutes and 18 seconds. And we're going to have a timeout here. The penalty will be served by Evan Jollymore on the defensive too many men. And the Seneca War Chiefs will have a power play. And if we can get a shot over on the far boards by the penalty box, Gutch Salinas is absolutely knackered, sitting there resting just to the left a bit. You can just see his foot. Just go to the left a little bit, please. And you'll be able to, there he is, Gutch Salinas getting a rest. You know he's going to come up and battle. But boy,
he's
these
a gamer.
Players are tired. He is.
He's a gamer, you know. All these guys, they're all gassed. This arena's so hot and humid. They're all dealing with it. They've got bumps, they got bruises, but this is what championship lacrosse is all about.
There's Troy Benedict. What a game he has had.
Yeah, both goaltenders have been remarkable. You see Ferris there slowly walking back to his net. I mean, the performance that not only these goalies, but these entire teams
it's been
put
spectacular lacrosse. I hope a lot of you are watching. I haven't heard the numbers for tonight, but boy, I hope there's a lot of people watching, because this is what you want in a lacrosse game here at the Founders Cup Canadian Junior B Championship. Stevenson down to Bielik, and he's just waiting to make a pass. Gets it back. Now he takes the shot, gets his own rebound. Stevenson, they've got a fresh 30. He shoots. That one comes out to the far side. Don't think it hit the goalie. Nope. So 22, though. Lots of time still on the shot clock. There's Clay Scanlon. And I feel like Stevenson may have been told by Darius Kilgore, if you have a shot, take it. Don't just defer to your teammates. That's a good pass to Scanlon, but a great block by John Gieb. Stevenson, maybe not that one, though.
No.
I think Darius Kilgore is thinking, not that shot. I meant a good shot. Just kind of drifted it in. And here's Fraser with the ball. Still 2:48 to go. 1:04 on the penalty to the Shamrocks. The too many men. It bounces away from Houghton, but he gets it before anyone can get there and endanger him. Eric Lemire zips away from that check. He's got some pressure on him. Oh, it's almost picked off. 3 Shamrocks converge. If they get it, it's okay. If they don't, it's this. A breakaway for Jimmy Chadwick. The hustle back by Pup. Strips the ball. What a play by Connor Pup after scoring the goal to put them ahead. Oh, he's almost a setup, but it's in the crease. Boy, Connor Pup's putting himself in the conversation for the game.
Oh, no doubt about
what
that.
What a couple of shifts. Shamrocks have the ball. 2:11 to play. 9-8 they lead. 27 seconds on. Too many men called offensively for Calgary, as they had a bit of a scrum going on along their bench and didn't get everybody off. Big chance now for the War Chiefs, wearing their FNLA All-Star jerseys. Sherman Williams wants to set things up and settle down. They've got 8 on the penalty. Will they shoot in the next few seconds? Gardner does. That's going to come out with 1 second left. It almost bounced straight to Evan Jollymore in the penalty box. So maybe a bit of a break for the War Chiefs there. Can you imagine if that had come to him just as he stepped out?
Would have been bad news for...
Could have landed in the box and he could have just caught it, let a second go, and then stepped out. I know he couldn't have. I'm not actually serious about that. Fake by Cross. Goes back door to Sundholm. It's just too high for him. He couldn't get up and get it. Now here comes the Seneca War Chiefs, Ryan Kidd. He's going to hand it off and let the offense do their work. 1:15 to go. 9-8 Shamrocks. Game of the tournament here. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. JVI Sports Network, pleased to be bringing you the 2018 Founders Cup. Bielik to Salinas. Backpedals into our final minute. There's Salinas driving to the net. Can he do it again? No, the one-hand shot goes high. And then Ivan Lundell, another great play. And the 30 expires. 50.3 to go. Shamrocks have the ball. They hit Fraser coming off the bench. Shamrocks will take their time. They hand it off to Houghton. They don't have to score, but they can't give away a breakaway. I would imagine they'll keep somebody high. I don't know, they're getting down there. James Johnston doesn't shoot. They hand it over. It's grabbed there by Fraser. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, great strip. The ball's down on the floor, picked up. There's only a second left and the 30 will expire. 19.4 seconds, and Darius Kilgore has his hands up in the tee for timeout before the whistle was even blown. He knew what was coming. He gets his timeout. What a finish we are in for.
How about that defense from Cameron Carpenter as well there?
Oh, fabulous play. There is the schedule for tomorrow. Make sure you join us for all the games on day 3. We've only been here for 2 days.
Seems like forever.
It does seem like we've been here for a while.
Maybe a little out-of-town scoreboard for Major Series lacrosse fans. Brooklyn knocking off Peterborough 9-6.
That will force Game 7 in that series and widespread panic in Peterborough. And in the other game, the Oakville Rock have moved on to the MSL Finals. Am I wrong, or is that their first MSL Finals?
First ever MSL Finals.
Fantastic work for Oakville. A Six Nations Chiefs team, very, very good team, but Oakville has shown all year, and once again, that they belong among the very best. Darius Kilgore having a discussion with the officials.
I don't know. I think that, is there maybe no timeouts, and you don't get your timeouts reset?
No, I think you get one in overtime.
Wondering what the discussion is then, because the Calgary fans erupted.
Oh, and now right in the middle of the floor, you see a Seneca player, a couple of Seneca players talking to the gloves of Eric Lemire, saying check those because you can't. Can you cut the palms out? I think you can cut the palms out for a player glove. It's just a goalie glove that they're going to make a big deal out of. Lemire gets off the floor just to make sure. Still the discussion goes on. The officials there, 3 Seneca players, and I'm not sure what is being called. Now the thing is, Calgary has offensive players coming out. Seneca has defensive players. Have they given the ball to the Shamrocks? And if so, why?
And they have.
And I don't quite get it. We'll have to get an explanation about that one. I wish we could help you out on that, but I don't understand. There will be all kinds of pressure on Connor Pupp with 18.9 seconds to go. He's going to run away if he can. No, he'll just throw it all the way back. Nice little move there by Eli Cross. He's running into space. 10 seconds left. He's going to circle behind his net. Just has to avoid the crease. Flings it. It's knocked down. The ball is loose. It's grabbed by Ferris. He whips it. Good Salinas has flung his helmet. And they need to get that off the floor because that actually would be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty if he throws his helmet out on the floor.
1 second left.
Seneca has it, 1.1 to go. And Good Salinas is running out on the floor to retrieve his helmet. You can't start play with that out there, even though there's very little chance the ball will get down there. Sherman Williams has it. Can he make a pass, or has he just got to step and shoot?
I think he's just got to unload and send a prayer.
He's going to run out. Huge win for the Calgary Shamrocks. And the War Chiefs are livid. Shamrocks trying to celebrate, and still a Seneca player trying to step in. Oh, I think it's Cody Bielik trying to get his stick. Now the Shamrocks will stream out onto the floor, and we're going to have to get everyone up on the restraining lines for the Player of the Game awards. Do you care to venture a guess?
I mean, I know you mentioned the goaltenders for both sides. Connor Pupp's real hard to argue with that huge few goals for him, but man. Good Salinas. Very clutch.
And they're going to go shake hands before the presentations. And you can see, as angry as everyone was, as frustrated as everyone was, there are some heartfelt handshakes and hugs being handed out. A lot of respect for each of these teams, by each of these teams for the other. What a classic lacrosse game. Very curious to find out what the call was at the end there.
Yeah, no.
And the thing is, it may not have made any difference. It's 18 seconds, but if you're the Seneca War Chiefs, you want to find out if it would have made a difference.
I'd be interested to hear what that was all about, but nonetheless, like you said, 18 seconds, who knows what happens. The game wasn't won and lost by that play right there.
Still. Maybe don't try to explain that to Seneca right now. If I were them, I'd be, well, I don't know. I think I'd be upset but I just don't know what the call was. But
I don't think you really can say until you know what the call was.
What a fantastic lacrosse game. Coaches finish up with the handshakes. Oh. Kind of confused. I think it's Troy Benedict. Darius White has announced number 0, but another name.
Third time's the charm, Darius. There you go.
There we go. There's our friend Darius.
I think what he was trying to say, both goaltenders.
Yeah.
Hard to argue
what
that.
A
that's
finish.
For sure.
We're going to take a peek at the game-winning goal. Here it is. Connor Pup just ducks underneath, a couple of quick moves and goes back against the grain, just over the top of Troy Benedict. And Benedict was so good for the entire game, but just couldn't match Pup on that brilliant finish. From Ralph Gubler, we do have our final numbers in that third period, or in the overtime. Shots were 9-3 for the Seneca War Chiefs. Wow, 9-3, but the one that really counted was the Pup goal. Well, I mean, we had a couple of goals. And overall, 57-48 for Seneca. Draws wind up 14-8 in favor of the War Chiefs, and that's just a fantastic game. We're done. This has been a long day. It's 10:15 here at the Turtle Dome in Akwesasne. On behalf of Pat Gregoire, the rest of the JVI crew, I'm Steven Stamp. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with us, and we will see you tomorrow.